Azemović, and I'm now speaking from Bosnia and Herzegovina. My session is kinda one or two step back, just to think about, and actually I will try to pass on my experience based on defense and security that actually is heavily connected with PRU and Defender. So it's basically my daily work, and I will try to see speak with you from different angle to actually see why we need it and what we needed from this part. Okay, so again, win this exciting prizes. Just fill out the questionnaires, be part of this great story, and I hope you will win one of these great stuff. Okay, my session is how to create state-of-the-art so-called security department, and also I like to call it the SWAT team, because security is actually SWAT team, but it depends on which part of it is actually deal with different kind of security posture. Okay, before I start, as I said on the beginning, my name is Jasmin Azemović. I'm speaking from Bosnia and Herzegovina, Europe. Actually, I have 30 years of IT career, the mostly as an academic professor, university teaching, and let's say last 15 and last 6 year intense, I am leading as CISO and head of security operations, two companies in here in Bosnia and Europe, and as actually worldwide. The last one is worldwide and leading defense and security. So basically, I will try, as I said before, the past on hand-on experience about some real stuff. You can contact me on any of these services. LinkedIn is, let's say, most appropriate because it's dealing professionally, but other services are also available. Just you can type my name at Jasmin Azemović, and you can find me easily on these services. Okay, this is agenda. Okay. Do I need a security department? Maybe it's a basic question, but trust me, it doesn't actually. Okay, size of the company is matter. So the small, the medium enterprise, and some large corporation. But you will be surprised how in this, let's say, large part of the enterprise, people simply yet don't understand, do they need actually security? Yes, they need, but the position of the security inside the company is kind under the question mark. So I will speak about that. Also, what security is not, again, from the experience, and really two slides about the reason why you should, or we think about it, to actually, if we don't have it in the right way, immediately do some action step to actually start. You see, all these great sessions before me about Pure, about Defender, about compliance are actually great stuff. So the full of technical details, but sometimes we have the problem to actually explain to people what security is. Now, the ground zero, I'll explain that later in the session. And the last part is actually how I see, based on my experience and based on standardization, what security department should actually looks like. And a couple of examples of real screenshot from real environment, actually analyze and hidden the actually concrete details. But you will see how defense and security, through all these defending services, actually can save your company and save yourself actually from some disaster case scenario. Okay. Do I need security? Okay, the first question, what type of business actually you're handling? Software development, economy, finance, fintech, healthcare, automation, and so on. So different kind of the industry. And based on the first question, everything else goes later. I believe in most cases, but is not the axiom, is not the default that we are speaking about the companies to actually deal with the software in some kind of way as a service, on-prem, development, and so on. But also the companies as a fintech, as a healthcare, in most cases healthcare, they care about security, and they should care about security even more than professional IT, let's say services. Second question, the size of organization. As I say, the small, maybe some startup, okay, as a first step, baby steps, then some small size business up to, let's say, 100 people in some local area, then medium size, about, let's say, 1,000 people, as some medium size of the business, and above the 1,000 and 2 and 10,000, 50, 60,000 as an enterprise class business. Security in most cases is really difficult to implement, to handle on the large size companies, because these kind of companies are already on the scene. The structure is there, and if they didn't have security before on a proper way, it's really hard to explain from sea level, the vertical line, up to bottom, then horizontally across the department to actually what they need to implement to actually be safe and secure in this totally unsafe and unsecure world. What is the worst case scenario? So the third question, if the worst case scenario is happen, what is that for me? So if my business fails, if I cannot serve my customer, if I need to pay some penalties, if I don't can pay the salary for my employee, these are the worst case scenario. That can be the results of the data breaches, data leaks, cyber attacks, and so on. It depends on what kind of security incidents we are speaking about here. And the impact blast, the radius, okay, maybe it's only your company that actually will go down. I will not say it's a good stuff, but if your company in the explosion, in the blast radius, actually can impact your clients, the company of the clients, then we are speaking the even worse case scenario. So in the first one, your company failed, so it's bad, you are down, you have the financial, materialistic, and the marketing loss. But if the blast actually hit your customer, then in that case we are speaking about lawsuit, we are speaking about even more greater financial impact on you. So the first case scenario is kind of better for you. So when we actually answer these simple 4 questions, they are simple, but actually it requires a really deep dive analysis, let's say a couple of months, if you are starting from the ground, even if you are starting from the middle. If the security is already there, it's good to you if you are actually taking over the business, if you are actually new team member, maybe proactively try to answer these questions and see the actual security posture of the environment, your ecosystem, and address on the right, let's say C-level or director, I don't know, it depends on the hierarchy of the company. Now, again, in this 15 years on the field, and as I say, 6 years intense, I still have the really hard time to. I don't know about India here. I don't know about different parts of the world, but I believe these bullet points are kind of universal here. So in most cases, the major misconception here is that IT equals security. It is not. It's a conflict of the interest. IT can't prescribe the security procedures and policies and check themselves. As I say, it's a conflict of the interest. Again, in a lot of companies, CTO somehow, I don't know how, handle security. Why? Again, conflict of the interest. The CTO is about technology, about development, about dealing with the tech stuff to actually ensure that business processes are in the place, optimized. But security can be, let's say, blocker inside that line. So logically, the CTO will try to minimize security impact as much as possible. I'm speaking with my experience here. So again, CTO is not security. Different C letters, CEO, COO, director of IT are not security. Again, it's a conflict of interest. Also, it's not one-time operation. So I will implement software A, the process B, maybe some compliance, and I will stop there. Why? It's only beginning. So all the security is a process, not the final state. So we will always try to reach the goal on the infinite line, and we will never get there because the security is about that. Everything before security at the end. Why? Okay, I understand finance, I understand operations, I understand everything, but security can't be on last in the line. And again, one-time cost, you are implement, let's say, Windows Defender or different, I don't know, maybe endpoint security as a cloud service on-prem, doesn't matter which one. Again, you think that you actually solve your security problems. You are not. So these bullet points look simple, maybe look naive, but again, trust me, especially in the large kind of the companies, these stuff actually are happening on a daily basis. Okay, now the reasons to think about it. So why should C-level, board, C-level, vice president, director, head, and different, let's say, levels of the company should think about security? But first, C-level, because the money, the cash flows start from there. So my first sentence before I show you the next two slides is actually this. In any board meeting, when I have difficult time to with the box match to fight the budget to actually gain for security something good to survive the year, I always say the famous question, and it's not fair. It's not fair question from that side. Security is not the billable. What it means? Security is not billable. So you can't sell me, but you can't. But if you can sell me as a service, so it means I'm what? You don't need me. You need to decrease my salary. You need to decrease my budget. To fire my team. What it means? But my answer is always this: if we fail, you will have nothing else to pay, to bill. Because if this line of defense fail, there's anything actually to bill. Then you will need to pay the penalties to our customers, maybe to state level. I don't know if security fails, and I believe it's a fair answer from my side. Okay, the first slide after that, but when I show them is this: the middle cost. Let's say the middle number of the security of the data breach in the numbers in the US dollar for 2023 was let's see, almost $4.5 million per breach, and this number is an average. Actually, the real data is actually go up to 9.8 to 10.2 million US dollar per breach. Now in their eyes, I see actually that I penetrate their firewalls, because when you speak the language, and that's the money, they understand you. So if you fail, you will fail everything, and you need to pay this in average. The second slide, in many of the slides I can put and show them, is that these are the consequences, as John Wick says, the consequences. So that's why I put his face on the session slide of this section of presentation. Johnson & Johnson, I know it's a famous name, especially from COVID time, is actually have the breach, and that breach was not because Johnson & Johnson failed. It's about IBM failed from their servers. It doesn't matter which one. And the entire population of Johnson & Johnson, the healthcare records is actually was leaked out. Is about 4 million records of the people, full last name, first name, contact information, data, healthcare information, disease history, and a lot of other metadata about person in the dark web. And the one record, one medical record in the dark web is cost between 100 and up to $500. It depends, are we common people as maybe my record is $100, but C-level VIP person, famous person, they are going sky high, because these metadata can be misused big time with large consequences. So if my company is willing to afford this kind of risk, I'm okay. Just please write me that on the email, on the memo somewhere, then we are okay with it. But fortunately, they understand in this situation that actually the security is some serious business. But you always need to repeat this stuff quarterly, because the money always came first. And I understand that the money is the motor. With the money, there's no anything, but it's not everything about the money. So some stuff need to be aligned, in line, in parallel with that. So ground zero, if you have, and if you don't have security, I recommend all these steps. If you are new with security, you are taking the department, or you are doing some security operations inside a company, and you didn't doing this stuff regularly for any reasons, we don't care about reasons. So let's start fresh now, is internal security assessment. So try to assess yourself with your team. So that's the first grade, A, B, C, D, E, F, up to fail. So maybe you will say you're A plus, you are great in security, and that's fine. You are a cool guy. But now try to verify that with external security audit, not certification. I'm not speaking about compliance here. I'm speaking about external security assessment. Then compare this result. Maybe you're A plus, and maybe you are here F as a fail, or maybe you are somewhere in the middle. Ideal scenario is to actually that these grades are the same, even are the A or even are the F. So that's the best case scenario, but it's a good starting point, because that will show you directions where you need to go. Create the baseline. So we are here now, and now I will try to go to the point A, B, C, D, and actually to find space to improvement with new certification, with new ISO rules, with new defender features, with new proactive threat hunting. I don't know. So you will need to actually recognize these fails inside the security assessment, internal, externally, and try to map these fails with security features of your ecosystem, test them, turn them on, analyze them, and then if they're okay, turn them for the production and announce your company that we have new security operational policies on the way to actually increase our and your security posture. After you fix them, again, roll these procedures annually. So again, I'm not speaking about compliance. Don't do this only when you need to verify your ISO, your SOC 2, your GDPR, your HIPAA, your TISAX, whatsoever. You do this for yourself, not for certification. Certification are okay, they are fun, they are fancy, they'll get you customers. But sometimes certification are not, how to put it, not the real pictures in the mirror of your security posture. Maybe you can have some disbalance here. And if you don't have department, establish it. Even in the first place, it's a one person, it's a one-man show, establish it. So it will grow, but from one point, it's actually need to start. Actually, security department in my company before 6 years ago was started with me. So I was CISO, and actually I was doing defending, pen testing, everything else until people understand around me that I needed team. So the team came after that. So it was a medium-sized company. It was possible in that way. In large company, this kind of approach is maybe not good way, but in medium-sized business, you can actually do that if there is no security. And trust me, in many of them, security is only in the traces, even if you find the traces of that. Okay, now about concrete security department. Again, everything here I'm speaking from the experience here. So this is actually AI generated picture here of the SOC. I'm not sure that actually SOC looks like this, but okay. Let's say that AI is still not on the right track, but actually you got the point. Okay. These are the building blocks. I'm not saying that any security department need to have all these 4 lines. Maybe it's only one. Maybe it's a mix. Maybe the one line incorporate all these 4 lines. So I'm speaking in generally. So defensive security, offensive security, incident response, and the compliance are the pillars of the information security. People, I hope that this crowd here is actually understand that people always misuse these terms: cybersecurity, network security, infosec. Basically, infosec, information security, is the core term. Everything else is below that. So information doesn't mean always cyber. It's included in physical security. So the physical is not in cyber, but actually it is under this rule. So the cybersecurity is a part of the information security. So it depending on the first question: what kind of do I need it? What kind of business I actually run it? How many people I have it? It's a middle size, large size business, and based on that you will decide what kind of, and of course in the assessment part, before you start anything, assess yourself. So based on that you will see what you actually need. So defensive for me is a must part. It's a deal breaker. So all these sessions here for today are about defensive security, blue teaming, SOC operation centers. So without that you have nothing. Without that you have the IT, and it says as a first axiom, the IT is not equal security. Offensive security. So attacking something as a figure of speech, I will explain later. Incident response, again, it can be part of defensive security, but again, it depends on the size of the business, and the compliance in most cases is required from the medium and up to large enterprise size of the business. So basically, definition of the defensive and blue teaming, you actually understand, and I believe you all know about this. But so is when we say defensive, how to explain to someone defensive security without saying just blue teaming? Okay, blue. What blue? You mean blue T-shirt, blue hair? What blue? So actually, it's actually about security oversight. So if you can put in one sentence, it's a security oversight, and security oversight is gained by security operations center that implement security politics, maybe from vertical or maybe from horizontal level, depend on the structure of the company and security vertical. If you have, I hope that your companies have security vertical, not only security horizontal. This is the worst case scenario. So you are stuck somewhere in the middle, or in even worst case scenario below the middle. So communication in those cases are going really hard. So vertical need to be established. So it's your first and the last line. When I say last line, the point is that if something goes bad, again, your blue team that actually, even in this worst case scenario, will try to mitigate and minimize the impact and the risk from the ongoing situation. And now something that actually affects me. Avoid using SOC members on the project. So I actually working in a software company. Almost 3,000 people is working there. So security is my responsibility in this ecosystem. In some cases, team members are pulled out for the projects, and I can understand that. So in that case scenario, the security becomes the billable. But it's not okay if you have some limited number of the staff, tight, so 2, 3, 5, 15, 25, again, depends. Actually, they know their jobs, and pulling out one person can jeopardize your company. So every time, if you have, let's say, 7 person in your blue team, so three of them actually goes on the project. So you stay with 4. So your guard was going down. So your head become exposed from the attacks by fists. In this case, for the cyber attacks, even more, you can expose your chest, your belly, and so on. So you become vulnerable. So if you have the power to say no, so avoid happening this kind of situation. It's a connection, as I said, between compliance and security. So the blue teaming is not there for itself. Someone needs to prescribe security. Again, top vertical line. Politics, again, the politics, it depends on the legislation, on the country, state laws, certification, ISO, SOC, and so on. And based on that, you will implement security elements through your SOC operation center and monitor these operational security procedures as a defender, as a peer review, as XDR, calcul queries, threat hunting, and so on. Everything there is on the operational level, but someone needs to tell you that, and that's that vertical line. And reporting as a final stage for yourself as a milestone, and for your direct manager, C-level company, especially that they understand what they were doing on a daily basis. Offensive security, red teaming. Most companies does not need this one. In most, because if you are working in healthcare, there is no need to attack anyone, even yourself. You can actually hire third-party services to actually check as a penetration test and social engineering test. Actually try to penetrate your company from outside. But offensive security and red teaming makes sense in most cases in the fintech, in the companies that actually create the software as a service on-prem, on cloud, because you produce the code. The code goes to production and finally to the clients. I know testing, quality management, automation test, these are the great tests. But without proper penetration testing, as a black, gray, and white box, for example. Black means that you just give the URL of the service and hit it. Try to find any way to actually sneak out inside. Or gray, I will give you just common user. Try to escalate the privilege inside the system. And also that means something, that if regular guest can become administrator inside your environment. And the white box, when you have documentation and source code, static code analysis, dynamic code analysis, actually you try to find everything. Does anything make sense from security perspective as OWASP top 10, SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and so on, to actually to try to identify these weaknesses and vulnerabilities inside code. So this makes sense in this kind of businesses. But as a regular company, there is no need for the red teaming, because you need to invest in these people, and these people will mostly do nothing inside the company entire year. So you need to hire as an external service, and that job will be actually be done much better than your internal team. But again, from this perspective, my perspective, red team is must inside the company, and even that we need to verify their result externally, because again, it can be conflict of the interest. Client can say, okay, you create the code, you write the code, you do your own pen tests. I'm not sure. Are you maybe hiding something? Maybe you don't see. You pretend to be blind. So these are the legitimate business questions. So in this case scenario, you need to verify your result externally. Part of the blue teaming. I don't know about you, but incidents on the daily basis can be measured by hundreds and by thousands. I know informational, maybe some low level, maybe some high, maybe some critical. But in this high and critical category, is you only need one to actually have your company in checkmate position. And the first question, if we fail, you will have nothing to build. So everything is failed. So only one incident. So is not about the number. So it doesn't mean that you need to say we have the 1,000 of incidents. Who cares? Are you handle them? All of them? Yes, you are great. But you should always pay special attention, especially with Defender, if you are speaking about MS ecosystem, and we are speaking here about MS ecosystem, you should especially pay attention on these high risk and critical incidents, because in most cases, they are. It's basically they are breach in the attempt, and some cases they become the breach. So incident doesn't mean it's a breach, but it can be a breach in some final state. Okay, and the compliance is the last line. In most companies, even medium-sized business between entry level or the enterprise does not need. But if your company actually work for the international customers, for USA, for Europe, in most cases you will have the question: do you have ISO 27001? No. Okay. If you're working for USA, do you have SOC 2 report? No. Okay. You are working for automation. Do you have TISAX? No. Okay. Thank you very much. Next provider. So you will simply you will not even be considered as a legitimate partner to actually do business with these companies. So again, it depends on the business, it depends on the size, and depends on your customers. So maybe even startup will need to have the ISO and SOC, because they create some kind of boom as an AI. So the AI now need to be compliant with a lot of regulations worldwide, and now there's a mess there. But it will be clear in some point in time. But until now, there's a lot of work there. And actually, it starts as a startup. So you see, when you're not putting the security and the compliance at the early stages, you have this. Now you have maybe the digression here. I see 10 minutes. Thank you. Digression that. In most cases, the company does not allow to use AI for the production, because always in the license agreement of the AI providers, you will see we not guarantee that your data will be exposed in our learning models later to the other customers. Yes, you can opt out something like that, but we not guarantee you that. So it simply put you on the field and shoot you in the head and say, okay, now is up to you. So maybe in R&D, yes, but AI is still not as an add-on. Okay, we are not speaking here about security copilot now, so it's a different story. But AI as a general service, even now we have AI in juices, is AI power juice now as a juice for drink. Now it's become funny now. So you need to pay attention about that. So the compliance actually jumps there, and some of the standards, frameworks, legitimate legislation, and the reports here are in most cases related for the security. And I believe that you already, or at some point of your career, you will need to deal something with implementation or audit of these compliance elements. Okay, so okay, examples just for the last couple of minutes. Okay, so it's a real screenshot. So you see here that Windows Defender is actually is identify the threat in the PowerPoint presentation on the D drive. Some old archive that employee actually is plug in with USB or SSD, who cares? And that exploit is actually is trying to mess with WinLogon session. Is actually is trying to steal credentials. So the lesson learned here, you need to pay attention on the external drives, USB sticks, micro SD cards, external drives. You need to forbid them. If there is no business justification, or someone will take the responsibility in that part of your ecosystem to actually do that. This can be checkmate position. In this scenario, again, real one, elements are hidden, of course. Everything else is in general here. We are speaking about malicious GitHub content. So we know all about GitHub, but in some cases, especially in supply chain attack example, and that's a different story, not for this one, maybe for some different presentation. Supply chain attacks now become the worst nightmare for my kind of industry. It's actually prevented here. This one, information stealer. Again, you see that some installation AI stub 86exe as a legitimate installation file actually incorporate information stealer. So in this case scenario, again, it's a prevented. My favorite one, impossible travel. So your user is, I don't know, in my city, Mostar in Bosnia, and next 5 minutes I'm now I don't know, working from the UK or from the Thailand or from India. So it's not possible to travel in 5 minutes without being up Scotty or Star Trek technology in that short matter of time in that location. It can be VPN, of course, but we need to check. So you don't need to ignore this kind of, because in some cases, if username is hacked, password is hacked, someone will try to actually, in most cases from Singapore and Hong Kong, in my cases, will try to access your ecosystem, and your employee is in Europe and attacker is in Singapore. So impossible travel, and you need to pay attention on this kind of the attacks. And we have here email contingency. When
Jasmin, sorry, just a reminder here. We have 5 minutes left. My bad. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Just need that much of time. So there's a feature of the I don't know, Exchange Defender, but when they say malicious email is removed after delivery, and that's something that I can understand for after all this year. So if it's malicious, why is the detection system of the Azure failed? So it was delivered, that after that is removed. So it can be 5 minutes, it can be 1 hour, and it can be 1 day. Trust me on this. Trust me on this. So you have the huge risk when you that something can escalate in this manner. So it's actually again prevented, but this removed after delivery is actually the result of this one. And I asked this question on many points of the listening parties, but I always get the answer that is it political? Oh no, yes, but you know, yes, I know. And this is a simple case study, real scenario. Phishing email is arrived. A login page is initialized. User has provide, because it's an original login page, provide login credentials. Now, session is hijacked. Now the attacker initiate 2FA session because it is using that password to actually log on the real service, and the employees doesn't know anything. So employee will say on their 2FA, yes, wow. So now they approve the attacker. So attacker has the direct access to the ecosystem. They can pull the information outside. So scenario can be like this one. So in this case scenario, the speed is of the essence. So identify this kind of risk. So this risk can be something about session hijacking and risky sign-in. So if you have these two inside your Sentinel, try to correlate to see what kind of user, if there is any other anomalies around them, because it can lead you in this kind of the attacks. Again, I'm speaking about real scenarios. Okay, how to mitigate? Immediately contact DM, PM, or technical lead, isolate the account, log off all user sessions, reset the password, and reinitialize MFA or 2FA. It depends on your security posture to actually to stop the chain. Then do your forensics, because you can't leave the attacker inside, because information stealing is maybe in the process. So that's the deal breaker, to analyze the attacker inside the system without disturbing him or them. So yes, I believe I'm 1 minute ahead. So it's time for a question, and I hope this session was interesting for you. That maybe you get some cool ideas. You can ask me a question here, or you can ask me a question through LinkedIn, or my email is up to you. So thank you for please listen to me, and if you have any question, please jump in.
Thank you so much, Jasmin. Guys, if you have any questions for him, please